Welcome to another week in our life.
Oh my gosh.
This
It's getting more dramatic
is the first of our new format. This is a trial run. This is the first time we're doing it. So it may not be as smooth and wonderful and
Polished,
awesome as we hope. But it probably will be. Anyway, we're giving it a shot. We might tweak this as we go along. We talked about this last Friday. Deal with it. What we're going to do, I'll just explain this so everyone knows, maybe you didn't watch our Friday video. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about what we did last week for a little while. Then we're going to show you a bunch of really awesome video, you know, a montage with music and all kinds of cool graphics and whatever. And then we're going to kind of sum it up at the end. So sit back and enjoy.
There you go.
First off, we started the week by leaving Rancho Oso. In fact, Wednesday, the beginning of our week, was our last day at Rancho Oso.
Yes, that's true.
You have no thoughts on that?
It was a little sad leaving, but I was looking forward to having internet again. Honestly.
Yeah, we didn't have internet for 6 days, and it was tough. Tougher than she thought it would be. I knew it would be tough, but...
Yeah.
But anyway, we left Rancho Oso. We had to drive back down the super windy road, which you'll see. I videoed it from the windshield of the motorhome.
You will.
Then we went to a winery as part of Harvest Hosts.
Yes.
You'll probably figure out which winery when you see the montage.
The logo and the name.
But we're not going to mention it by name because Harvest Host tries to keep their members, you know, their location hosts. And names and stuff, their hosts, kind of away from the general public. Otherwise, you know, they don't want just random people showing up going, hey, I'm happen to be with Harvest Host, let me stay here. Yeah. You know, they want to protect them. They want people who are, they don't really vet us, but you know what I mean. So
the wine tasting, just so you guys know, was free. And they gave us 9 different types of wine. So as a result of that, Jen was overserved.
Yeah, she was mashed.
I was overserved.
She was messed up.
I was.
Like 4 in the afternoon, she's laying on the couch. I had to wake her up like 5 times. She's like,
the coach was literally
fine.
No, the coach was literally spinning. Like as soon as we walked across the parking lot, and I kind of felt that, but then as soon as I sat down and then ended up laying down on the couch, it was not good. Yeah. But anyway.
So we went there. We got a couple of bottles of wine. It was a really nice place.
Yeah.
They parked us at a big dirt parking lot, kind of across the street from their main tasting room and facilities and stuff. Yeah. And they told us to park back by the trees. They gave us nice afternoon shade. I mean, it wasn't a meadow or anything. It was just a dirt lot, but it was.
But there
flat.
was an amazing field right across.
Yeah.
So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the wind blowing through the grass.
Grasses.
Oh, it was amazing.
There's a lot of drone footage I took from there with the vineyards and such. It was really beautiful and great sleep. So they offered us a 2-night stay. And at first we're like, nah, because we got a Boondockers welcome spot coming up. But after all the day after day travel we did the previous, well, I guess it wasn't the previous week or maybe mixed, but we were like, you know what? Actually, when I was driving there, I was like, you know what? We're gonna take them up on that. So we asked, and they let us stay a second night. They were like, oh yeah, no problem. So we got in contact with the Boondockers welcome family that we were slated to stay with and said, hey, is it okay if we show up a day late? No problem.
No problem.
So we stayed there 2 days. So the second day we were there, we just took a drive. I was like, hey, let's go for a drive. So we started out just driving down the back roads, looking at wineries, and we ended up like 30 miles away at the ocean.
At the ocean.
On the Pacific Coast Highway, Highway 1. We were like north of Morro Bay.
In the town Kayasco? Something like that. Yeah,
we ended up in a little town, whatever it is, Kayasco? I don't know.
I think so.
Anyway, like what, 20 miles before we got to that town, we saw this sign and it said, what was it, brown?
No, brown butter cookies.
Brown butter cookies. And we were both like, oh, that sounds fantastic. Brown butter cookies. I don't know what that is, but that sounds fantastic.
Exactly.
We ended up in the town and we went there. And,
we did.
Oh, those cookies were good.
Oh my gosh.
Those were good cookies.
They were amazing cookies.
Yes.
Flashback.
We saw that sign for this amazing place. We're driving down Highway 1, PCH, just on a whim. And found this cool little town. I have no idea what it's called.
Cayacos?
Cayacos? I don't know. Rancho Cucamonga? No. Albuquerque? I don't know. It's an unpronounceable little town. But we saw this place, so we stopped. And it's an amazing little town. And then, while we were here, we had an amazing idea.
We did.
Which we will share with you at a later time. But anyway, just wanted to, that's what we're doing. Lots of ocean.
Yeah.
Pretty shots.
Absolutely.
And cookies.
And cookies.
Cookies. It's got to be awesome. There's cookies, right?
End of flashback.
They were fantastic.
And the town, now when we were there, it was serendipitous that we did this. When we were there, I had a thought and I mentioned to her and she was like, yeah, you know, so we made a decision about where we want to go after the summer.
Yeah.
And, you know, just, we're not going to keep it a secret. It's not set in stone yet. We're probably going to do it. It's a bucket list item. There's a helicopter back there. Sorry.
Exactly.
But
a few moments later.
So it was actually serendipitous that we decided to stay the second night. We drove over to the ocean, which is really cool. Jen got her ocean fix.
Again,
we drove through the town, but I also had an idea and I mentioned it to Jen and she jumped all over it too. It's on our bucket list. And going there made us, you know, go, yeah, that would be a really cool place to go. So next fall, probably, I mean, nothing's set in stone in this lifestyle, but
no,
probably we're going to start up in Washington, because we're gonna head up there anyway during the summer. Start up in Washington, like near Seattle, and we're gonna drive down the coast.
Yep.
Staying on the coast as much as possible, you know, utilizing like Thousand Trails and boondocking when we can, and going and staying in parks. But that's something we've always wanted to do. Going down is the way to go, because you can make right turns in and out of all the stops.
Yeah.
I don't know how often we'll do that with the coach, but still. So anyway, we decided to do it. So it was a good idea that we.
It was a very serendipitous moment for sure.
Yeah. So after our stay at the winery and our little trip to the ocean and our serendipitous moment, we went to our Boondockers Welcome location.
Yes.
Nice place. I mean, it's very farmy, rural. You know, I mean, lots of orchards and fields and stuff.
It smelled amazing. Right across the street from the location was an orange orchard, and all you could smell was orange blossoms. It was an amazing smell, and that by itself was worth it to me. Yeah,
we're outside, so somebody's shooting.
Yeah.
Over there somewhere, but not at us, which is fortunate. So we went there. I mean, we followed Google Maps to get there, and it took us the short way, which is down all these little tiny lane-and-a-half rutted farm roads. And just before we got there, we ran into this major 4-lane thoroughfare that ran right back to the freeway. I'm like, why did it take me off the freeway to go to this? So, nevertheless, once we were there, we're like, oh, thank God we got here. So it was like, what, 90 degrees that day, and it was supposed to get hotter. But that's not what, we had another change of plans, and that's not what changed our plans.
No.
That night, and we're not going to mention where this was at or who it was, because this could have been a one-off thing. We're not complaining about Boondockers Welcome Program or anything like that.
Not
but
at all.
They had 3 dogs, and at least one of them decided to camp outside of our bedroom window and bark all night.
I actually think it was more than one of them. I honestly believe that there was a huge party across the field from where we were staying, and really loud music and fireworks and everything. I think that it just got the dogs riled up, because they were barking and acting weird the whole time we were there. I honestly think that that's probably what it was.
Enough excuses. The dogs barked all night.
They did.
And it doesn't matter why.
No.
And about 3 o'clock in the morning, after very little sleep, I was like, we're out of here.
Yeah.
We're leaving. We got wheels. I don't stay here and deal with. They may not have done it again the next night. Maybe it was, as Jen said, a party or something, but I didn't want to take that chance. So we changed our plans again and left. We were supposed to be there 4 days. We missed the first day staying at the winery, and we missed the last 2 days. I can't do that. Because we left early. And honestly, we told them, now hopefully they'll watch this, but we told them that it was because it was hot. And it was.
It was really
We weren't
hot.
lying.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be over 90 degrees, and we had power, but it was 20 amp. There's no way we could run our air conditioners without running our generator all day.
Yeah.
So we decided to come up to the Park of the Sierras. It's an escapees park. we were already coming up here. That was our next stop, but we came up here 2 days early.
Exactly.
Great park.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you have to be an Escapees member to be here, and it's a co-op, so most of the lots here are owned by people. But when they leave, they go on their own trips, or they go back to their summer or winter home or whatever. They will allow people to rent them, and that's what we're doing. Great park, super friendly people. Everyone waves at us. We've already talked to several people.
Just as a side note,
look at it.
If you are an Escapees member and you do want to stay at an Escapees park, it's always advisable. We did not know this. It's always advisable to call ahead just to ask if they have a big event going on, which it just so happens their big event was ending the day we came. Yeah. Because if we would have come 2 days before, we would not have been able to stay.
There's no reservations. No. And I think that's at most of them. They're first come, first serve. They do have boondocking spots just in case you show up and they don't have a spot for you. You can boondock, and they charge you. Sometimes it's free. Here they charge you for the second night and on $5 a night. So. Yeah. Great park, and we loved it here. It's a beautiful place. It's on Yosemite's doorstep.
Yeah.
It's sort of close to our next destination. Not destination, the next place we visited while we were here was Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks. It was like an hour and 45-minute drive.
And unfortunately, there's still snow there, and so the majority of Kings Canyon Park, or quite a bit of it, was closed. You couldn't get to it because the roads and everything. Yeah. So we went and we explored, and we saw some really cool trees, and it was amazing. But
if you ever heard the General Grant tree, the General Sherman tree, we saw both of those, and that's really the highlights of what we were able to see because of that.
Yeah.
And they're not Yosemite, they're not Yellowstone. They are lots of wilderness with a road that goes through part of the park with some things you can stop and see. So, they're we're glad we went. Oh yeah, I mean, they're beautiful places. I mean, and the difference from where we entered the park and then through the park and then on the back side was amazing. And the road down, I think there's some video of that. Oh my God.
Absolutely
the road was
beautiful.
Crazy, and it was fantastically beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm glad we went. It was a long day, and we were tired,
day.
And I wouldn't do it again unless we happened to be camped like right outside the entrance or something. But I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
So that's pretty much it. That yesterday when we did that was the end of our week, our Tuesday. So that's what we did. So we'll go ahead and we'll let you take a look at some of that video. Our week in the life.
hope you enjoyed that wonderful musical montage that he put together in our week in the life. And this week, I think the main word was being flexible. We had to be flexible several times during this week, and we can be because we live in a house with wheels.
Yeah, I mean, I have in my notes here, fun but tough, and that's why the week was fun. We did stuff like going to the ocean, staying at the winery, doing the wine tasting. Even though yesterday was a long day and we didn't get to see nearly as much of those national parks as we would have wanted. Yeah, it was still, we had fun. And just being here at this park, even though like we went shopping today. Yeah. And didn't do a whole lot our other day here, but just the park's beautiful. Just walking around, I mean, it's a beautiful park. So
it is.
Yeah, it was a tough week, but I think we had a lot of fun and we really enjoyed it. And that's the thing I will say. I do not want to disparage the Boondockers Welcome program at all, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What happened to us with the dogs could have been a one-off thing, even for those hosts. Yeah. But I will say there's a huge difference between staying at a winery or a farm that's kind of somebody's business. Yes. They shut down. In both cases, they shut down and they left. And there we were in a dirt lot near their winery or at their winery or whatever. And the other place, it's somebody's house. Exactly. And that's kind of, it made me feel, I've done it when I stay at other people's houses. You're not in your space. You don't feel like you can do whatever you want. You're kind of, you're just very mindful. Yeah, you're mindful of them and and being polite. I mean, we watched a movie that night. It was really hot, like Dave mentioned, but we didn't want to turn on the air conditioning because we didn't want to run the generator. I mean, we asked and he said it was fine, but we chose not to. But we were watching a movie, and it was so loud, and I mean, even though the house was kind of far away from us, I was just like, oh my gosh, we have to turn down the sound because you do feel like you're at someone's house. And I told him, we definitely have to give it another shot and try again, just to see how we feel, if we have the same feelings. But I don't know. We definitely have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, I mean, they had a farmhouse, and it was probably on like 2 or 3 acres, and we were surrounded by outbuildings, and their house was probably 50, 60, 70 yards away. They probably didn't know we were there, and we could barely see their house from where we were. But still, and some of the other places are literally, you're staying in someone's driveway. Yeah. You're staying. So, and I've seen whatever hosts that are basically like, oh, I've got 30 feet of curb in front of my house. You can, so if you're shorter than 30 feet, you can just park there, which is great if you're in a camper van or something. That probably wouldn't apply to, like people in motorhomes and fifth wheels, but, I mean, it's definitely we weren't in close quarters, and you could, and in other places you could be. So I don't know. It was a little weird. We're going to try it again. Yeah. Just we'll probably be real picky about where, try and find something that really kind of seems like it maybe suit us better. But anyway, I just want to mention that. So Boondockers Welcome, and Harvest Host is probably our love preferred. It, honestly. So far we've loved that. Yeah. So the other thing I'd mention is, over the last few weeks, save for Rancho Oso, we've been moving a lot. And we're going to continue to move a lot until probably early June. I mean, we got 2 weeks up at Lake Tahoe, but then we got to get up to Oregon by early June, very early, like June 5th. So we're going to be moving fast then. And it's like, this is not what we want to do. I mean, there's reasons for this, but I'm really looking forward to the summer of staying longer, a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. Yes. Slowing down. Back to like when we were boondocking, sit in one spot for a while.
Actually, looking forward to being up the lake for having the 2 weeks. I think that will help us kind of recoup, because even though it's not difficult, packing everything up and putting it all away,
we're pretty good at it.
We're definitely getting good at it. But
we're getting better.
But just the driving, and we are still driving separately, so I am chasing him. Yeah. It does take a toll for sure. And. Not only in just the driving and all that, and this is probably, he doesn't have this problem, but on the night before travel nights, I have all this stuff in my head that I have to do, and I know I don't sleep as well on travel days or the night before travel days, because I'm thinking about the day and the traveling and everything. So
and the travel days are I mean, they're not completely wasted days.
No.
I mean, you're traveling, obviously, but you know, you're generally not going to go out and do anything. You're tired, so you know, every time you travel, you're kind of wasting a day of you know.
I always use the term "I'm burnt toast" because that's kind of how I feel at the end of a travel day after we get everything set up. I just want to sit and chill for a while, or maybe go take a walk just to kind of walk the road off. But yeah, it is kind of a wasted day because you know,
and the more you do it, the more days you waste. If you move 3 times in a week, well, there's 3 days during the week, so you've got 4 left.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's not what we want to do. I mean, you know, there's reasons why we're doing what we're doing. We have to be certain places at certain times.
Yes, definitely.
For the upcoming, you know, time period, you know, and honestly, doing what we did as far, you know, Tahoe was the end.
Yeah.
But we want to go see her surrogate mom, friend of ours, family friend, whatever you want to call her, up in Bandon, Oregon, and we were able to get in at Bullard's Beach State Park. Which, getting into Oregon State Park on that kind of short notice, you know, like a month and a half notice,
is pretty amazing.
It's pretty hard. So we were able to do that, but I couldn't get in any later. I couldn't push it back any further. So we're going to have to make another little minor mini mad dash up to Oregon.
Yeah.
But after that, the plan is to slow down and take our time a little more. So.
Definitely.
So we're looking forward to that. So anyway, let us know how you like these.
Yeah.
Do you like the new format? Do you like more of us talking? I mean, it looks like we're going to probably get about 20 minutes of talking and maybe, I don't know how many, you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes of video. But you know, let us know what you like. Let us know if you want, you know, if you got any, you know, what you liked best, what you didn't. You know.
Yeah.
That'll give us a clue on what we can change and how we can improve these.
And they're definitely a work in progress, and I'm sure we'll hammer down a better format or whatever. But anyway. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your positive comments. We really do appreciate them. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.